So I tried to do this video when I was walking, but it's super cold today. It's like 15 degrees, but it feels like 5 degrees outside. And I was like, it's just not working. But I didn't want a day to pass that I didn't do it. So I was like, after my little walk, I'm just gonna go to the car, and here we are. So real quick, I am a spirit that has a soul that lives in the body. One more time. I am a spirit that has a soul that lives in the body. I am not this body. I am not attached to this body. I am not this mind. I am not attached to these thoughts. You are not those thoughts. You are a spirit that has a soul that lives in the body. I started it off like that because I want to tell you this. My best friend transitioned. She dropped her body. And when she dropped her body, I was her power of attorney. I was the person who had to sign off on taking her off the machines and towards her end of her life, right? And honoring her wishes. And one of her wishes were this. She did not want anything that would prolong her life. She did not want anything that would keep her here any longer. If it looked like it was going to be to the end, don't hook me up to any machines. Don't do any of that. If you have to do anything, keep me comfortable. So I get a phone call from the doctor. Now, I'm aware that she's in the hospital, right? But I'm not aware of how serious it is at the time. And she has been sick for a while. And been sick ever since I've known her. So I'm used to her being in the hospital. So that's what I thought it was. This is one of those times where she was in the hospital again. She'll be in there for a couple of weeks and she'll come home. But this time was different. I get a phone call. Are you Kenya? Yes, I'm Kenya. This is the doctor, whatever the doctor's saying, from this hospital. You're a power of attorney for V. And I say, yeah, I am. Yeah, right? Because she's always told me I was, right? And we just never thought it was going to come down to me having to do anything about it, right? Yeah, I know I'm a power of attorney. Not really worried about it. No big deal. So, are you the power of attorney you're the power of attorney listed for V. All right, and we need you to get here. She doesn't have long left to be here. And we have some choices and some decisions to make. And I need you to hurry up because I can't release any information to her family until you get here. That's how she wanted it. Now imagine you have 4 sisters, your mother, your nieces and nephews, and a lot of friends. She was a bit of a socialite. She had a whole bunch of friends around her. She knew a lot of people. So these people are all at this hospital waiting for me to get there to find out what's going on and what decisions and choices are going to be made about her life. And they need me to come and make these decisions. So obviously, they're not happy with me when I get there. I didn't make the choice to be her power of attorney. She chose it. She chose it because she trusted me. She chose it because she knew that I would honor her wishes. She knew that I would have the capacity to put whatever I felt aside. She also knew that I knew she wasn't this body. And she also knew that I knew that her spirit would continue to live on. And I will honor her wishes. And so that's what I did. I go there. These people are very upset. I feel this evil eyes, all these evil eyes looking at me. But by this time, I had developed this really strong relationship by my ancestors. I had learned so much about myself. I started trusting my spirit. I'm awakened and aware that I have this spirit. I'm awakened of how this works, right? And that my spirit continues to live on. And energy once created can never be destroyed. I'm aware of this now, right? So I don't have this whole fear of dropping a body anymore. I no longer worry about somebody dropping their body and they're going to be gone. I'm never going to see them again. I don't worry about that because I know that your energy will continue to exist. So when I get there, I don't have that same energy that they have. I'm almost peaceful, right? Because I had already decided I'm going to do what my best friend asks me to do. So the doctor says she's bleeding on her brains. Her brain is bleeding. And her lungs are shutting down. Now, we could stop the bleeding, but if we stop the bleeding, her lungs will probably stop working within the next day and she'll succumb to to the end of life like by that, right? But that'll be a horrible way to go, because that means she'll suffocate. So we need you to decide, what do you want to do? It's not if she's going to transition, it's how she's going to transition. And I need you to tell me what this is going to look like for her. What do you want me to do? Whoa. Shit. I'm like, that's heavy. That's heavy. I don't even have no time to really feel anything, right? I don't have time to get sad or to get scared or any of that. Again, because her whole family is there looking at me like, who the hell are you to be making this decision over my sister's life or my aunt's life? I don't have time to worry about them. Now, keep in mind, I just said I had already developed this relationship with my ancestors, and I'm trusting my spirit. So I tell my ancestors, you get them. You hold that energy back. I don't have time to feed into that right now. I'm zeroing in on a doctor. Feel their energy, but I'm not following it. I'm right here with the doctor. So I said, give me a moment. I need to hear what my spirit is saying. I need to be able to trust my spirit in this moment. I can't let my emotions make these decisions. I can't let their energy affect my decision right now. My best friend trusted me so much. When I decided I wanted to be a preacher, when I was into religion and I wanted to be a preacher, she followed me right there in the front row while I'm preaching. Another journey. I want to be a 5%er now. She's followed me. She's now a 5%er. Another journey. I want to be an Israelite now. She followed me. Now she's an Israelite. So needless to say, she trusted me. She knew that I was always on this journey searching for something. But I was searching for, I already had. Everything I was searching for was already within me. But I didn't know that then. So by this time, I'm in this place where I'm done with all of that. And I'm just trusting my spirit. And it was the best thing that I could have ever done. So I said, let me just sit with my spirit for a moment and I will let you know. He said, well, you don't have to make this decision right now. You can let me know tomorrow. Like, that's a lot of time, right? I said, great. So we wrap up our conversation. There's some more to the conversation, but we wrap this conversation up. And so the family's now sitting there like, well, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? I'm not sure, guys. I don't know yet. Let me get to her. I go to her. I'm talking to her. She's still able to talk at this time. And I said, why would you do this to me? I'm so angry at you. Why would you put me in this position? But I got you. No problem. I'll handle it. It was tough. I'm going to get more into it, but I don't want to rush this. I only share this story not to exploit my trauma or to exploit her transition, because I want you to understand that you are not this body. Have no fear of dropping this body. If you are sitting around somebody right now, if you are in the presence of somebody who looks like they are about to transition, and you have time to be with them before they transition and drop this body and go free, what I would want you to do with that time is not to sit in that space with sadness, with fear, nothing low vibrational. I will want you to use that time very wisely. And here's what I did with that time. If this resonates with you, if you feel like this is something you can do, then this is why I'm sharing it. What I did with that time is I helped my best friend unburden with that time. I didn't have time to get into all of the gossip and all of the rumors and all of these things that these people are saying about me. I don't have time for that right now. I can deal with y'all later. Right now, I know some of the things she's been carrying. Keep in mind, this is my best friend. I know some of the struggles she had. So I have this opportunity to be with you right now in this space. Let me help you cross over. Let me help you unburden before you drop this body. If I can help you not have to come back and get on this, this constant cycle of, reincarnating, having to keep coming back and keep coming back. Let me help you try to do that. Let me help you unburden. Let me help you get some of these layers off of you. Let me help you release some of your fears that you are right now having, right now in this moment, because you don't understand what's about to happen with you. You don't know where you're about to go to. And I can imagine laying in that bed, you are scared to death. Let me help you with that fear right now. So that's what I did. I went in that room with her. Every time that I seen her, I went in that room with her. I said, listen, this is what we're going to do. We're going to unburden today. We're going to get some layers off of you. We're going to lighten up that spirit today. Because if you look at your soul like an onion, there's layers and layers and layers and layers on it, right? Every experience causes a layer. Every lesson, a layer, right? Some good, some bad. But we don't want none of that, right? We don't want any of those things laying on top of our soul and talking about our spirits. We want to be as light as we can be. We want to be as light as a feather we can possibly be when we drop that body. Because if you imagine your spirit being as hard and heavy, or your soul being as heavy as a rock, what happens? It's going to drop and get anchored down. It won't float up. But if my spirit is light as a feather, can you imagine what happens when I drop this body? So my job was to try and get my best friend spirit as light as a feather. And I'll tell you how I did that in the next video. But for today, keep in mind, I am not this body. I am indeed a spirit that has a soul that lives in a body. We'll talk more in the next video.